Have you ever wanted to build a portal system, like in the game Portal? Hi, I'm Arash, and in this video, I'm gonna show you how to make your own working portal system in Unity from scratch, using only primitive shapes. No assets, no plugins, just pure Unity magic. Let's get started. First, let's create a new project. Now we need a ground and a player. To keep things simple, I'll use the character controller component, which is already built into Unity and handles movement for us. Let's create a new script. I'll name it player movement. Alright, let's start coding. First, I'll get the character controller in the start method. It's always a good idea to check if it's actually there. Better to be safe. For movement, I'll use the move method from the character controller, which needs a direction. I'll get this direction from the input keys. I'm using WASD for movement. Also, to adjust the player's speed, I'll use a speed variable. And of course, I always use logs to see what's going on in my code. Alright, let's see if this works or if I just broke everything. Yep, looks like I just broke everything. Let's figure out what went wrong. Oh wait, a classic mistake. Let's fix it. Again? What's your problem with my code? Alright, let's figure this out. What? Another classic mistake. Alright, testing. And yes, it works! Finally we made it. Time to celebrate. Now let's move on to creating the portals. I'm going to start with a cylinder since it already has a round shape that kind of feels like a portal. Then I'll resize it, stretch it a bit and make it thinner, so it actually looks like something we can teleport through. This part is just visual setup, but it's important for the overall feels of the game. Once that's done, I'll add a box collider to it. That way we can detect when the player touches the portal and trigger the teleport. Now that we've created our portal script, let's dive into the portal logic. First thing first, we need to detect when the players collides with the portal, and for that, we'll use the player tag. This way, the portal will know exactly when the player touches it, and then we can handle the teleportation. Alright, the code is working now. We can see the debug.log output when the player collides with the portal. That means the collision is being detected correctly and everything's working as expected. Alright, but we don't just want a log message. Let's get to the real deal. When the player collides with the portal, we want to teleport them to another position. So, we'll grab the character controller component during the collision and teleport the player to a new position. Let's make this portal really work. Alright, it worked. Now let's make it even better. Let's add two portals because every portal needs an exit, right? We don't want to be stuck in the portal forever. Now let's make it so the player enters through one portal and exits through the other. We'll set the player's exit position to the location of the second portal. Okay, testing time. Looks like we just broke reality again. Let's figure out what went wrong. Alright, let's check this step by step. The player enters the portal and then instantly exits the other one and then back again and again. Oh no, it's an infinite loop. That's definitely a problem. For now, let's remove the portal script from one of the portals so we can test more easily. The issue is that we need to disable the portal's collision for a short time after teleporting. To fix this, we can use a coroutine. Coroutines in Unity let us pause code execution for a certain amount of time without stopping the whole program. This means we can delay actions like disabling and re-enabling the portal's collision without freezing the game. Super useful for timing-based mechanics. So we're using a coroutine here, and that means we return an IEnumerator. Don't worry if that sounds confusing. I'll talk more about interfaces in another video. Now I've added a simple boolean. It's called teleporting. When the player enters the portal, we set it to true, just so they don't instantly teleport back and forth forever. Then after a short wait, we set it to false, and the teleport is ready to use again. Now to run the coroutine, we use the start coroutine method. Alright, I'll run the test after start starting the coroutine, and guess what? It worked. Everything's running smoothly now. Now, you might want to enter the portal from the other side, and that could change where you exit. Yes, I know, you can always rotate the exit portal to change the direction, but let's do something cooler. Let's make it so that no matter which side of the portal you enter from, you'll always exit from the correct side of the next portal. To make this work, we'll need a method to calculate the exit direction of the portal. We're using the vector 3 dot to figure out the player's entry direction based on the position difference between the player and the portal. If the entry direction is negative, that means the player is entering from the opposite side, so we flip the exit direction. Otherwise, the player exits from the correct side of the linked portal. So right now, I'm adding the return value of that method in the coroutine. First, I calculate the exit direction with calculate exit direction method, and then I update the player's position by setting it to the linked portal's position plus the exit direction. Also, we need to move the coroutine outside of the onTrigger enter method. Let's fix that, and then we'll go ahead and test it. And that's it. We've just built a fully functional portal system from scratch. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.